Picture this. You're Marcus, a wool merchant, and you're about to die. The blizzard outside is tearing through your cloak like it's made of paper. Your horse is stumbling through knee-deep snow, and your fingers are so numb you can barely grip the reins. Then you see a flickering light in the distance, a tavern, your salvation. But hold up, what if I told you that stepping through that door might be the worst decision of your life? Marcus kicks open the heavy wooden door, expecting warmth and relief. Instead, he's hit with a wall of smoke so thick he can't breathe. His eyes immediately start streaming tears. The stench hits him next, unwashed bodies, rotten food, and something that smells suspiciously like death. Welcome to reality. Medieval taverns weren't cozy Instagram-worthy spots. They were survival nightmares. The fire, oh, there's a fire all right. But it's surrounded by the biggest, meanest-looking guys in the room, a group of mercenaries who've been drinking since noon. They look at Marcus like wolves eyeing fresh meat. One of them, built like a stone wall with scars covering half his face, slowly stands up. You want warmth, merchant boy? That'll cost you. Here's where it gets interesting. Marcus has three choices: pay up, fight, or freeze. The mercenary wants his entire coin purse, not just for a seat by the fire, but for the privilege of not getting his throat slit. Marcus chooses option for. He pulls out a small leather pouch and shakes it. The sound of coins gets everyone's attention. Dice game, he announces. Winner takes the fire. Now the room goes dead silent. Even the drunk guy in the corner stops singing his terrible song. The scarred mercenary grins, showing rotted teeth. You've got guts, I'll give you that. But you're about to lose everything. They gather around an overturned barrel. The dice are carved from bone, probably human bone. Knowing this crowd, Marcus rolls first. Snake eyes. The mercenary laughs and reaches for the coins. But Marcus isn't done. Double or nothing, he says, his voice steady despite his racing heart. But this time, we play for something bigger than money. The mercenary raises an eyebrow. What? Your horse against mine? Winner gets both animals and safe passage to London. The crowd presses closer. This is better than any entertainment they've had all winter. The mercenary's horse is a massive war stallion worth 10 times Marcus's pack animal. It's either pure genius or pure suicide. Here's what Marcus knows that nobody else doesn't. Those dice are loaded. He spotted it in the first roll. The mercenary has been cheating travelers all winter. But Marcus grew up on the streets before becoming a merchant. He knows every con in the book. While pretending to examine the dice, Marcus quickly switches them with his own set. Fair dice. The mercenary rolls. 7, not bad, but not great. Marcus picks up the dice, says a silent prayer, and lets them fly. 11. The room erupts. Half the crowd cheers. The other half starts reaching for their knives. The mercenary's face turns purple with rage. You cheated with your dice. Marcus asks innocently, holding up the loaded pair he palmed earlier. These dice. The mercenary realizes he's been outplayed. His own cheating dice have been turned against him. The crowd, now understanding what happened, starts laughing. Even hardened criminals respect a good con. But winning the game is just the beginning of Marcus's nightmare. See, the innkeeper has been watching this whole time. A fat, greasy man with dead eyes who sees Marcus's victory as an opportunity. He sidles over with a smile that would make a snake uncomfortable. Congratulations on your win, he whispers. But there's a small matter of taxes. House taxes, victory taxes, fire usage taxes. He starts counting on his grimy fingers. That'll be, let's see, exactly what you just won. This is how the system worked. The house always won, one way or another. Marcus realizes he's trapped, but then he notices something interesting. The innkeeper keeps glancing nervously at a particular floorboard near the kitchen. Something's hidden under there, and the man is scared someone might find it. Tell you what, Marcus says loudly, making sure everyone can hear. How about we settle this with a different kind of wager? I bet there's something under that loose floorboard you don't want us to see. The innkeeper's face goes white. The room suddenly gets very quiet. Because everyone knows what happens when innkeepers start hiding things. Usually involves stolen goods, unpaid taxes, or worse. A voice pipes up from the crowd. Let's have a look then. Now the innkeeper is sweating bullets. That floorboard is hiding his emergency stash, coins stolen from travelers who mysteriously disappeared during winter storms. If the crowd finds it, they'll tear him apart. Wait, the innkeeper shouts. Perhaps we can negotiate. Marcus has him. Free lodging, free food, free fire access for everyone tonight, and safe passage for all travelers. The crowd roars approval. The innkeeper has no choice but to agree, but Marcus knows this victory won't last long. Desperate people do desperate things. Sure enough, around midnight, the real nightmare begins. The food they're served is basically gray slime with mystery chunks floating in it. The ale is so watered down it's basically dirty ice water. And that bread. Marcus swears it moves when nobody's looking, but the worst part isn't the food. It's the other guests. In the darkest corner sits a man wrapped in ragged robes, coughing up blood. Medieval tuberculosis was basically a death sentence, and this guy is spreading it to everyone in the room. Next to him, a group of pilgrims are planning something in hushed whispers. Their hands keep drifting to the knives hidden under their cloaks. Then there's the woman by the window. She claims to be a traveling healer, but Marcus notices she's been carefully studying everyone's belongings. Her medicine bag looks suspiciously like a toolkit for breaking locks. The temperature keeps dropping. The fire is dying down, and the innkeeper refuses to add more wood without extra payment. People start huddling together for warmth, but that just spreads the lice faster. Around 2 a.m. Marcus hears it, scratching sounds from the walls. At first he thinks it's rats. Then he realizes someone's trying to break in from outside. The bandits have found them. The innkeeper starts backing toward his hidden stash. The fake pilgrims suddenly produce very real weapons. The healer woman disappears into the shadows like smoke. Marcus finds himself in the middle of a three-way standoff between the bandits outside, the criminals inside, and the terrified innocent travelers caught in between. That's when things get really creative. Marcus grabs a handful of the rotten straw from the floor and tosses it into the fire. It creates a massive cloud of choking smoke. In the confusion, he starts shouting contradictory orders. Bandits in the kitchen. He yells to one group, then whispers to another. The real threat is by the door. Soon everyone's fighting everyone else, none of them sure who the actual enemy is. It's like a medieval version of Among Us, but with actual murder. Marcus uses the chaos to slip out the back way, but not before grabbing something crucial, the innkeeper's hidden money, not to steal it, but as evidence of his crimes. He makes it to the stable, where his new warhorse is waiting. But here's the twist. The stable is actually worse than the main room. It's so cold that the water buckets are solid ice. The horses are shivering so violently they can barely stand. And the smell? Imagine your porta potty that's been marinating in the sun for 6 months. Marcus has to break ice just to get his horse a drink. The poor animal's hooves are starting to show signs of frostbite. One more night in this stable and the horse would be dead, leaving Marcus stranded. As he's saddling up, he hears screaming from inside the tavern. Someone discovered the innkeeper's crimes, and mob justice is swift and brutal in medieval times. Marcus rides out into the blizzard again, but this time he's not running toward shelter. He's running toward the nearest town with actual law enforcement, because someone needs to shut down this death trap before it claims more victims. The journey takes 3 days through howling winds and snow deeper than his horse's belly. He survives on handfuls of oats meant for the horse and snow melted in his mouth. Twice he almost falls asleep in the saddle, which would mean freezing to death, but he makes it. And when the sheriff's men raid the tavern, they find evidence of 17 different crimes, including murder. The place gets shut down permanently. Here's the crazy part. This was Tuesday night in medieval England. Every single tavern had similar stories. Travelers didn't just risk bad weather and bandits. They risked being murdered by their own innkeepers, poisoned by contaminated food, or dying from diseases spread in overcrowded rooms. Yet trade continued. People kept traveling. Civilization somehow survived. Our ancestors weren't just tough, they were completely insane. In the best possible way. Makes your worst Airbnb experience look like a 5-star resort, doesn't it? The next time you complain about airline food or hotel Wi-Fi, remember Marcus and his night at the tavern from hell. At least your pilot isn't trying to rob you, and the hotel staff probably won't poison your breakfast. If you want more stories about how our ancestors survived impossible situations while we complain about slow internet, smash that subscribe button. Trust me, after hearing about medieval life, you'll never take modern conveniences for granted again.